I got to thinking. Some of the most successful people I've ever seen, particularly within like creative endeavors, but also like across the board. Some of the most successful people I've ever seen in my life are nerds. Yeah, they're like super fucking nerdy. They probably got bullied in school. They were misunderstood, socially awkward. Nerds. And I say that to say, if you're watching this right now and you want to become successful, like myself, we got to become nerds. Yeah, we got to become just straight up like geeks. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at nerds, right? If you look at nerds and you look at people on the spectrum in particular, such as myself, fun fact if you didn't know, I'm autistic. Yay. So you look at nerds and you look at people on the spectrum, and a lot of times they tend to go hand in hand. They have almost like a form of obsessive compulsive disorder kind of built in to their software. And people who are on the spectrum in particular have this one thing that they obsess over. And it's their whole world, it's their whole identity, it's their everything. They have this one thing that they just fucking, every day they're just working on it. And you talk to them for long enough and they start going in on it. It's all they want to talk about. You try to redirect the conversation, it always swirls back around to whatever they're talking about. A lot of people who have autism or Asperger's, which is a form of autism, but it's a little different, they all have that. They have like their thing. They have their one thing that's their whole world, it's their whole identity, and it's all they ever want to talk about. If you look at successful people, they have, for the most part, one thing that they're really, really good at, that they focus on and they dial all their attention on all the time. They have their thing that it's their whole world. It's their whole world, it's their whole identity, it's all they want to talk about. It's just everything is dedicated to that thing. So, me personally, I have had a lot of hobbies and a lot of things that I have taken interest in over the years. But for the most part, most of the things that I have taken interest in have been very short-lived, right? So like, I was into comic books for a long time. Marvel, DC, mostly. And I read a lot of comic books when I was younger, like a teenager. I was really into that. I was kind of into anime for a short period of time. I've never really been like a huge weeb, but I went through a period where I like binge watched it, and then I eventually just kind of lost interest in that. Horror is something that I kind of am on again, off again with. I go through my phases where I like horror movies and cartoons and whatnot, and then it kind of fizzles out. But there is one thing that I have always taken interest in: music. Yeah. I love music. I've loved music my whole life, ever since I was a child. It started out with like the old like 40s and 50s tunes because my grandparents put me on, and then my dad put me on to like 90s music and grunge and shit like that. And then later on I got into nu metal, and then, you know, rock music and stuff. I was a big grunge kid and a heavy metal kid. And then that transitioned into rap and hip-hop because I had friends that were hip-hop fans. And so I've always loved music. I enjoy a lot of different genres of music, and I could talk about music all day long. It's one of those things where if you really get me on a tangent talking about it, I just won't shut the fuck up. So that's my thing. Also, YouTube is my other thing. So I have two. YouTube and music are like my whole life. It's all I care about. It's really the only thing I ever want to talk about a lot of the time. There are other things, I mean, other interesting conversations. I'm a very deep thinker, and so, you know, I ponder shit a lot. But as far as like passions, interests, hobbies, music is the one thing that I've always had interest in and I will never lose interest in. And I'm here to tell you that if you look at people who pursue success, who are wanting to do something extraordinary with their life and break away from this 9-to-5 rat race, wage slavery horse shit, they all have that one thing that they're fucking relentless about, and they're just go, 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 go. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to be successful, what I've realized is you got to be the same way. I got to be the same way. You got to be the same way. We all got to be that way. Now, I'm not saying be like me and buy yourself a big, these big frame glasses and shit. I mean, these are kind of fly, to be honest. I mean, these are the Randy Jackson collection. You know, they're tight dog. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying you got to be a stereotypical nerd. Don't take what I say literally. I'm saying unless you're autistic, then you might take it literally. So I didn't want you to take it literally if you were. I'm not saying you have to be a nerd. Even though if you are autistic, you probably already are, you fucking social degenerate. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't cancel me. I'm not big enough to be canceled yet. But anyway, yeah, you gotta have your thing that you really just enjoy and that consumes all your time and it's your whole world. And when you're not at work, you're pursuing that thing. Because if you really genuinely love and enjoy what you do, then it doesn't feel like a job. You know. And I work for Coke. And while I like my job, I don't love my job. It still feels like a job. It still feels like work. This does not feel like work to me. Music does not, you know, I make beats and stuff, and I have started making music again, and it doesn't feel like a job, you know. And I'm here to tell you that, at least to me, is the true measure of success. Being able to do something and pursue something that doesn't feel like work, it just feels like play. So that's all. That's really, I just kind of wanted to give you guys like a different perspective on success, because a lot of people measure success by, you know, monetary gain, you know, how much, you know, how big their bank account is, or what their house looks like, or what car they drive, or you know, who they're married to, or whatever. Monetary success is important. It's very fucking important. I'm not going to sit here and try to like be like, oh, money's not real, you shouldn't chase it. Like, I'm not one of these hippy dippy people that are gonna like try to tell you that money's not important and you shouldn't care about money. You should absolutely care about money, but it's not everything. It's extremely fucking important. Money is very important, but it's not everything. I think the true measure of success is, do you enjoy what you do, and do you make a living doing that thing, and are you happy? That to me, those things to me are the true measures of success. And a lot of people, you know, would disagree with me on that, and they're wrong. Okay? You know, everybody's entitled to their wrong opinion, so it's fine. Sorry, not sorry. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and share and comment and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and hit the notification bell. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.